Google helpful content update seems to be in these last days a very trending topic, and I see online, on Facebook, on some groups, on YouTube, many people talking about this new update that will come in next days, and I see many people worried about this new Google update, especially regarding AI content, AI tools. So I will focus this video on this. So grab a cup of coffee because maybe this will be a long video, but I hope an interesting one, and be patient please, because maybe you know, maybe not. I think you can hear it. I'm not an English speaking person, so maybe I will do some errors along the way. Anyway, I think that's not a big problem. I will talk about this, what I think. I will show you something interesting about AI tools and why at the end of the day I'm not too worried about this update, and how we can use AI tools to overcome this problem and to help in content creation, and not against Google guidelines and Google desires. So before start, please click on the like button if you want to subscribe to Digital Toolcase, my channel, and leave a comment here below this video, because I'm really interested in knowing your opinion on this new Google's helpful content update. How you think site rankings will change, because obviously something will change, maybe for a few days, for a few weeks, but at the end of the day, really, I think the name of this core update is self-explanatory. Google's helpful content update. Focus on people first content. And if you already are writing a blog, are writing for a site, and you always try to do your best to help your readers and to focus on search intent, I don't think you will have any problem. Anyway, in this document, the official Google document, they also talk about AI and automatic generated content, and this is the point, because I really see many people worried not only about AI tools, so AI writing tools, but also about optimization tools. I saw someone on social media saying that all the sites optimized by, for example, Surfer SEO are losing rankings and so on, but let's be quiet for a moment, because this update it's not active. As of today is not active, so it can be true that eventually losing rankings is due to this update. Maybe it will be, but I don't think the problem is AI or SEO optimization tools, SEO tools. The problem is how you use these tools. At the end of the day, I think two words are really important now with this update. One is relevance. You want to be relevant in the SERP, and the other is originality, uniqueness. You want also be unique and original, and you can without problems use AI and SEO tools to achieve this. Before going inside some of these tools and show you how I think we can use them to create people-first content and useful content, I want to invite you in a community. Now, I don't know if you know Chibi and what Chibi is. Chibi is another AI tool. I don't want to talk about Chibi in this video. Maybe I will do later on because I want to focus on something else. And this is a really great tool. I'm a Chibi user from day one, from when Chibi was born. It's been created by Chattili, one of the first people to use these AI tools, teach how to use these AI tools, and one of the first talking about these things. I really like Chibi, but in some way it's quite different from the other AI tools. In some ways is also more advanced, so I will talk about it later on in my videos, maybe in next weeks and next months. But what I want to show you is the Chibi community, because if you want, even if you are not a Chibi user, you can subscribe to Chibi Community. You can find my link here below. It's free, you don't have to pay nothing, and you will enter in this community where we are also talking about this new Google update. And I want to show you especially this Chibi SEO, formerly Persona SEO. This was first released as an ebook, and it was a paid ebook. Then Chad decided to include this ebook inside this community and to release it for all the community participants. It's interesting because it was called Persona SEO, then now it's called Chibi SEO. It's a concept. So the way to do SEO without, for example, keyword research and without relying on optimizing tools in this case. As you can see, if I enter here, there also something about the new Google helpful content update. I think this will be an important topic in next weeks and months. So here we can talk about this. We can find the best solutions. We can learn how to use AI to generate great content. And again, even if you are not a Chibi user, here in the community you can find many interesting things. You can also watch how Chibi works and maybe know this software. Anyway, it's open to anyone who wants to join the community, where you will find other AI content experts and lovers. So again, you can find my link here below. Now let's go on, and the first tool I want to talk about is Frase. This is a post from today in Facebook, in Frase Insider, is the Frase Facebook group, where Tommy Ergo is saying, "There has never been a better time to be a Frase customer, excited to release new features related to our renewed focus on originality and information gain." And this is focused on this new Google update. If you saw one of my last videos, I talked about some of the new things inside Frase, and this will be another one. It's not there yet as of today, but I know they will include here inside Frase some kind of originality score. Now we have, for example, here in the optimize section, we have this score. This is the relevance score, the SERP score. I think this will be okay, because when you optimize with these words, you are not keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is another thing, is where you repeat the main keywords again and again and again, maybe 10, 20, 30 times in an article. This is something that is not working anymore, but not now. I think it's a lot of time that it's not working. This is something different because using this optimization tool will make your content more relevant for the SERP, and I think this will stay as a way to be in the SERP. This is very useful, for example, if you choose clusters, because you can see groups of topics inside your content. So you want maybe make sure to cover all or quite all these clusters. Maybe you don't need to insert the exact word that your competitor are using, in this case with long tail. You just need to cover the topics, the top topics, and so on, so your article will be helpful for your reader. This is the number one thing, satisfying the search intent of your reader and give him the best article you can. Then we will have another score, I think, and it will be originality and information gain. So this, I think, will be parameters where you can see how your content is original, related to your competitors, and you obviously want to make something original, something better than your competitor. But I'm saying this thing from a lot of time. These tools help you to generate content and create your content, but you need to make sure you always deliver your best product, your best article you can. And this was like this even before this Google helpful content update. Again, there will be something new related to this, so Frase is well ahead of the curve in this case, and is changing, is adapting to Google, because SEO will always adapt to Google and other search engines. Google made many updates in the last years, and SEO is still here. So the problem is not the tool you use, is how you use it. I think what Google wants to get rid of are those sites that are just publishing a lot of content very fast and are focusing on quantity over quality. So if you are focusing on quality over quantity, you will be okay. You don't have to include these words randomly in your content. For example, let's say I need to insert the word business or the topic business. I can't just go here, the goal of sales funnel in your business, and do something like this. Okay, the word now it's there, but I think you may do it better. For example, clicking here, watching how your competitors are using these topics, and maybe add something that is not here, using, for example, the other research tool you have here in Frase. So, for example, questions, you can read here directly what people is searching about sales funnels. For example, why is the sales funnel important? What are the sales funnel stages? Again, you can find here also questions from other sites. And maybe here you can find many things you can include in your article to satisfy your user search intent. You also have statistics you can use here. You always need to fact check these statistics, but you can include them, so you maybe will be better than your competitors. You have news and related sources to check news about what you are writing about, and again Wikipedia topics related to your topic. So if you want here, you can really create a very useful content. And you can use AI, for example, to insert in your article something maybe you didn't think about. For example, if I search here for headlines, I can filter here maybe the community AI tools. Headlines, it's very useful, for example, to find even some subtopics for your article. Let's use these as an example. Let's put inside here this H1. So let's say I'm writing about what is a sales funnel. I want to insert something different. I can use these templates to have some ideas. For example, how to create an effective sales funnel. This can be also a related article, a separate article, but you can find many ideas using AI. A simple sales funnel model, you can include an example. Something you can include to make your content better is, for example, an infographic, a table, a video inside your article. So all these things will make your content more useful for your readers. So the problem is not using AI, is how you use it, and how you can take some ideas that AI can generate for you and include them in your article. Obviously, I think the tools that maybe will have some problems are the tools that generate an entire article with one click. The one-click article tools maybe will struggle. I know that many people like those tools because they can generate a lot of content in a short period of time, but as you can see, when Google decided to get rid of those kind of unuseful articles, those tools are not the best choice anymore. And the other kind of AI content you need to pay attention to is the rewritten content. Again, many people like to take, for example, a competitor piece of content, rewrite it using AI. For example, let's use these. I can, for example, copy this piece of content of one of these competitors, for example, and maybe rewrite this piece of content. But this will always be yes, original, but not too much. So this is something I never liked to do. It's one of the features you have here in AI tools, but I don't think it's the best way to use AI tools. Again, don't just let AI tools write an entire article and without maybe editing it, without get rid of repetitions. Those are the AI problems. If you know what you are writing about, or if you do your research with Frase or just going in the Google SERP, If you watch YouTube videos, for example, to learn about the topic, and you use your tone of voice inside your AI tools, and you use templates, creative templates, and you use ideas from this AI-generated content to expand your article, I think you will not have any problem. This is about Frase and how Frase can help in this case, and I think Frase team will implement new things to help SEO and content writers to rank again better in search engines. Let's use now, for example, Jasper, because Jasper has a great advantage compared to competitors because you have commands, and with commands you can ask something very specific to Jasper. Let's try, for example, to use the same topic here. What is a sales funnel? Let's place it here. Again, okay, one of the lazy ways to use Jasper is just use the compose button. Jasper will start to write something and so on. This is the lazy way. You have some good outputs, but usually they are quite generic, and this is good if you want to write your brief, the base of your article. But if you really want to give your readers something useful and overcome the Google update problem, you need to go more in depth, and you can do it with Jasper, for example, because now, as you can see, it's writing about what is a sales funnel. So a sales funnel is a process that companies use to convert a prospect into customers. The sales funnel is composed of several stages, which vary depending on the company, but typically include awareness, interest, decision, and action. At the awareness stage, potential customers are made aware of the company and its products or services. This can be done through marketing campaigns, such as online advertising, print ads, or television commercials, and so on. As you can see, it's writing quite a good output about what is a sales funnel, but you can also ask Jasper something else. For example, with a command, you can write something like write some important subtopics about the above. Let's try, because when you use commands, you always need to try and see how is the output. But as you can see, you now have something to expand your content, how to create a sales funnel for your business, the different stages, this is already covered here, how to move customers through the different stages of your funnel. This is something, for example, really useful, I think, in an article like this, because you are giving your readers something practical to do. So this is a good subtopic to include. What to do once you've captured a customer's interest. Here again, because maybe who is reading your article wants to know what to do with a sales funnel. So let's say these two are very good subtopics. You can generate more ideas. Some will be good, some will not, but you can use AI, in this case Jasper, and commands to brainstorm for your content, to find ideas, something to include in your article that you was not thinking about. And again, when you generate the content, you always need to, one, fact check your content, and two, maybe change it with your tone of voice, add something, because if you rely 100% on what AI generates, maybe you can have some troubles. This is quite unique content, because if you run these articles into a plagiarism checker, you quite never have any problems. But you want to be specific. The more specific you are in satisfying your readers' search intent, and the better you will rank. So, for example, let's go here. Now, one of the best way to use AI tools, and Jasper is very good at this, is, for example, give Jasper some leads, not only comments, but also leads. So you can, for example, start the paragraph by yourself, giving Jasper the right direction. For example, writing something like, now that you know what a sales funnel is, it's time to go deeper, and this is a lead. It's a simple one. You can be even more specific. The longest the lead, and the better will be the next output. So now I can click on compose, and Jasper will follow my lead. So now that you know what a sales funnel is, it's time to go deeper and learn about the different stages of a funnel and how you can move your customers through them. The awareness stage is all about getting your company. In this case, I see here is quite repeating with other words what is already written here. This happens, no problem. You can delete this output. Oops. Okay, yes, let's delete these. And maybe we can give Jasper another lead here. One of the content that usually is very useful for readers are examples. So maybe I want to include an example here. So let's write something like, let's see a practical example of an awareness phase. Imagine, okay, and let's try to click on compose. Let's see how is this output. So let's see a practical example of an awareness phase. Imagine you are the owner of an online store that sells women's clothing. In order to increase awareness of your store, you decide to run a Facebook ad campaign. Your goal is to get as many people to see your ad as possible and click on it, which will take them to your website. So, as you can see, my first output was very similar to this. So, it was some kind of repetition, not very useful. I think Google can detect this kind of repetitions. And to make my content, my article, well more useful, I decided to include an example. So I gave a lead to Jasper to write an example, and Jasper did it. So as you can see, this is another different way to use AI, not relying only on what AI writes by itself, but guiding it. Knowing what you want to insert in your content will generate a good article, a useful article. Let's go on here. Once they're on your website, you want, let's see this output. You want to interest them in your product or services. To do this, you can offer them a discount on their first purchase, or you can give them free shipping on orders over a certain amount. You can also provide them with more information about your products or services through blog posts, video content, or ebooks, and so on. You can do the same thing. So include example even with other paragraphs. You can include something different, for example, statistical data here. Now, with AI, you never know if statistical data are correct. So let's try something here. I'm just curious. I'm just playing with Jasper, and I want to see here, for example, in Frase, if I go on statistics and I use these statistics as an example. Let me copy it here. Okay. Let me paste it here. So as you can see, I'm using I think a real statistic, because it's here in this SERP result with Frase. If you didn't know, 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups. Only 44% of sales reps gives up after 1 follow-up. So let's get rid of this. Just use this one, and let's try to hit compose here. Okay, this is interesting because I got rid of that 44%, but Jasper wrote that. So Jasper is aware of these statistics. 44% of salespeople give up after 1 follow-up. It's quite the same, so it's like he recognized this citation, I think. At the decision stage, it's important to keep in mind that people usually need to see something multiple times before they're ready to buy it. So he's expanding on this statistic. In fact, studies have shown that 80% of sales require, here is repeating it, but you can get rid of this and go on. I think you can understand that if you guide AI, you can really write what you want, maybe better. For example, I'm not a really great writer, and I find using AI tools very helpful for me, because many times AI is writing better than me. I maybe know the concepts I want to write about, but I couldn't explain something better than Jasper in this case, or maybe Frase if I'm using Frase. Anyway, this is just an example to show you how you can use anyway AI writing tools. What you don't want to do is relying 100% of these outputs. Again, you don't want to use those one-click article apps, because I think those will have some problems, while these tools, the ones where you can guide your AI and be very specific, will help you to generate useful content. So no problem with this Google update. I'm quite fortunate at the moment, because this update will include only English content. I don't have English content at the moment, but eventually they will expand to other languages in some months from now. So at the moment, I don't think my rankings will suffer from this. But we will see what happens, because nobody knows. Maybe nothing really bad will happen. Yes, the the guys that are abusing the system will have some trouble, and I think it's a good decision from Google point of view, because they want to be the source where people find answers. They want to be reliable, and so people who are just generating a lot of content without quality maybe will disappear or will adapt to these new changes. Anyway, you can find here below my video all the links to the tools I showed you in this video. You will find the link to Chibi Community. I again suggest you to subscribe, it's free, no problem, so you can meet other AI lovers. You can find the Frase link, and if you act fast, you will have a 20% discount for lifetime as long as you remain subscribed to Frase, but only until the end of August 2022. So for a week or so from today until 31st of August, you can subscribe with my link here and get your 20% lifetime discount. And you will find also the link to Jasper AI. You can try it with 10,000 words for free if you want. Why not? If you never used it, I think this is a good moment to try it out. And about Jasper, I don't know if you saw this thing. They are including the art section. Art section will generate images with AI. They will use DALL-E 2 technology by OpenAI. I'm in the waiting list, so at the moment I don't have access to this Jasper art. And here you can see some example images. I think this will be really interesting. I'm curious to try it. I don't know when I will have access to this, but I will make some video for sure. Okay, I think it's all for this long video. Again, I'm curious to know what you think about AI tools in relation to this Google update. So if you want to leave a comment here below my video, click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and let's hope for the best. Let's hope that not many people will be hit by this new Google update. That's all. Thank you for being here, and see you soon in another video.